Okie dokie. So if you would like to come to the tops of your mats, we're going to heat through with a couple of simple sun salutations and then move on to some variations. And when you're standing at the top of your mat, just while you're anticipating the class, I'd like you to check in with the level of sensation that you have in your bodies today. So I'd like you to start at your feet. Let your toes spread and place the weight evenly at the base of the little toe, the base of the big toe, and then see if you can spread the weight also evenly on the inside of the heel and the outside of the heel. And just check in there, even there, with the amount of sensation that you have in that contact with the ground. If you're feeling like it's been a while since you've checked in with this contact with the ground, it may be that you've been very much in your head, which is fine, but it's really helpful now and again just to root down and feel the support of the earth that's there for you. Now just get an idea whether you're leaning forwards or backwards in your stance. And then I'd like you just to slightly, and it's completely normal by the way, to slightly feel numbness or unfamiliarity with areas of your body, just infamiliarity. So if I'd like you just to kind of try and activate the inner seams of your leg. Is that even possible? Just the inner seams of your leg. So where your legs are perhaps touching if your feet are together. Just try and draw them up a little bit. So these inside seams of your legs. They're obviously calling to the core of the body and they'll move up the midline. So we're talking about the very center of you. And if you've been feeling a bit off or not quite yourself recently, simply even thinking about the inside seams of the legs can draw your focus in towards your center, towards the center of you. And then again, take the focus to the outside seams of the legs, so the exterior parts of you. And if you feel a little bit like you've been overwhelmed recently, it's possible that your sense of boundaries have been pushed. So, for instance, headlines have been overwhelming me a little bit recently. So getting this idea of my external boundaries is really, really important. Okay. So if you draw your focus up through the legs, see if you can draw the kneecaps up towards the hips. Let the navel draw up towards you. Try and keep quite relaxed in the glutes. And really sink into the heels. Try not to lean too far forward. I've got my lids lowered. You can have your eyes open and softly focused on you, on your area around you. So at any point in the practice where you do feel a bit overwhelmed, simply take in whatever you see around you. Okay, that's a really nice way to reconnect. And as soon as we start to feel overwhelmed, we disassociate, we feel distant. So connect with something that is with you on the mat. Let's take a nice deep inhale up and look up. Lift through the waist, fan the knees and brush the palms down to the floor. So keep the knees nice and soft. Step the right knee back. And then the left knee back. So you're coming into a supported plank, knees are down. Lower down your chest and your chin, and then inhale up into cobra. Press the toes into the mat, let the knees hover. Inhale and then exhale. 2 more dynamic breaths. Inhale, keep the elbows zipped into the body. Exhale, relax the glutes. 1 more here. Inhale, look up. And exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips back to the heels. Keep the arms lifted, inhale, exhale, inhale, draw the left palm up and then thread it underneath the right palm. So draw the right palm up and thread it underneath the left palm. Place the right ear on the mat. And if you want to go a bit deeper into this twist, you inhale and draw the left arm back. Fold the palm so it's coming to your right hip. Palm faces upwards. Inhale. And exhale. So sensations, even having your cheek or your ear to the floor can feel really comforting and really grounding. Extend that left arm out. Unwrap your right arm and then reverse. So inhale, draw your left arm up and then thread it underneath the right arm. The left ear comes to the mat. So you have to lift your hips forward a little bit. And if you want to, you can spin open your right arm and place your right palm facing upwards to the outer side of the left hip. Inhale and exhale. So feel yourself fully supported. It doesn't matter what variation of the postures you take. The important thing is that you feel them. You feel something in them. Extend your right palm forward and unravel your left palm. Come back to your extended child's pose. Look up. Then we're going to lift the hips off the heels. Keep the toes tucked and come into a gentle downward facing dog. Walk the palms just a little bit further forward. So you've got a long dog, like a sausage dog. Little bit longer than usual. It'll probably feel a lot longer than usual because we get so into our habits and the shapes that we ought to be performing. What I'd like you to do is to realize that you are breaking the mold because everybody's postures are different. Bend the knees and walk out this dog and then step your legs, cross them over the midline as you walk up. So you crisscross your legs, soles coming towards the palms. Bend the knees nice and soft and inhale, draw up and look up. Exhale, come back to standing. Beautiful to see everyone together, that's lovely. I've got some people in the waiting room. I'm just going to add them in. Let's see, Yasmin, lovely. Nice to see you again. I hope somebody else dropped out. Okay, let's inhale, look up. And exhale, fold down. So now we're coming into a sun salutation again. Inhale, halfway lift, so your palms can be on your shins. Extend your spines. So nice and long, look up. Exhale, place your palms, step back. This time we're coming to plank. So let your right leg extend behind you, nice and strong in the heel. If you want to place your knees down, please do. Index fingers pointing forward, eyes and the elbows together, and then everybody lower down. If you want to come to cobra, you can, or if you want to scoop up into upward facing dog, where your knees and your thighs are hovering off the mat, now's the opportunity to try that roll, the heads of the shoulders back, and everyone exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. So sensations, what are you feeling? How do you feel? What makes it you doing this practice rather than me? Take a moment to move in a sensational way. Not sensational as in like circus trick sensational. Sensational as in a way that will open up feeling in you. Now again, we're going to take some steps forward. This time, if you want to take small steps forward, that's fine. Or if you want to try and lift your right foot in between your palms and then your left foot follows in one big step, try that now. Inhale and lift the back nice and straight, palms to shins. Exhale, fold forward. Draw the navel in. Release the neck. Inhale, draw up. Look up. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, look up, draw up. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to step. So we're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Step the right knee back. And draw up. So we're going to simply spin the left arm round in circles. 3 circles back, and then 3 circles forwards, or forwards and back, but try and get the same amount each time. Now bring a little bit of weight onto your front leg, and just see what it's like to start to lift up your back knee. Now, if you've got a really tweaky back knee, you can flip over your mat to provide a bit of extra cushioning. So what I'm hoping for is that you can reach back and catch your right foot in your hands. So you need to bring the weight forwards onto the knee. That's lovely, great. If you've got it with one hand, can you get it with both hands? Lovely, great, that's great, Mira, lovely. So look forwards and then get the sensation that you're squeezing the orange between the shoulder blades and smile. So wherever you are with it, think about the breath now. Inhale. Exhale. If you really prefer not to lift the back foot, keep the back leg lowered and simply draw up through the chest and interlace the hands behind the back. That's your option there. Then everyone lower down and step back. So we're going to come into downward facing dog. Simply lift the right knee up and the left leg comes to join. If you've got that little rook in your mat, you may just want to straighten that out. Take a nice deep inhale in downward facing dog. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Then we're going to step the right knee forward. Make that little ruck again in your mat if you like a little bit of extra padding on your knee. So you just fold it over. And then we've got that right knee forward. So this time we take the right arm and we spin it backwards 2, 3 times. Get that nice sense of reach and then nice spinning forwards. Really get that range of movement through the shoulder. Then take a little bit of the weight into that front right leg and draw the left knee, draw the left foot towards the left hip, the left glutes. Really, really lovely, everyone. Take the gaze up and in front of you. Inhale, draw the heel closer. Exhale, strengthen in the abdomen. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just wonderful that you've come to the mat. Place the palms down, spread the legs back. Just grace through a downward facing dog. We're only going to have one breath here, so make it work, make it matter. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Take a look to where your hands are. We're going to bend the knees. If you want to walk up, you can. Otherwise, we're going to bunny hop. So get that nice springy feeling. Keep the hips nice and high. Keep the gaze lifted forward. And hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, draw up, lift up, look up. Feel your height. Feel the space you take. Exhale, fold forward. So the front of your mat, I'd like you to change your stance slightly. Come to hip width apart. So you measure that with your fists together in between the soles of the feet. So we're going to come to, if you actually remain at the front of the mat for this, I'm just standing forward straight on so that you can see what I'm about to do before I step back. So we're going to hold this next posture for 5 breaths. Inhale, you draw the navel in, grow long in the front body, and then exhale, sit back into your imaginary chair. Then we're going to inhale and draw the right leg up and cross over the right ankle over the left knee. So do you see how you're coming into sitting in this, and you've got a slight triangle that you're creating with your legs. Then we're going to hover the arms forwards. That's lovely. So if you bend the knees nice to about 90 degrees, that's it, come in now. And then take the weight into the left leg. The right ankle comes over the left thigh. So draw your right knee down to the ground. Give yourself an opposition, something to make you feel more grounded, as if you're still standing and putting weight through that right leg. Come back to the breath. Can you count 5 breaths here? Good. Really, really good determination, Yasmin. That's lovely. Lovely, Charlotte. Lovely. So, as if nothing happened, stand up on one leg. And then just branch the arms out to the side, a little bit like tree. So you're pushing your right leg above your knee, not on your knee or below your knee. So come into a place that's not on the knee. Lovely. Bring the arms out nice and wide. Inhale. And then what we're going to do is simply unravel that right leg and step back into your warrior 2 pose. The front heel is in line with the back instep. That's your foundation. Your legs are about 1 leg length apart. And then we're going to drop 90 degrees in the front knee. And the knee wants to be over the heel. Lovely. And again, this time with the right arm. Nice spinning, opening up. 1, 2, 3, backwards. And then 3 forwards. Why? Because you feel so much in your shoulders all the time. So much tension. We get very stuck in the range of movement in our shoulders. Lovely. Then what we're going to do now is move into a reverse warrior. So the right palm comes down to the outer edge, the outer seam of the right leg. And you inhale up. So we looked at this dynamically before. 3 breaths here. The left arm lifts up. And you feel an openness in the left side body. When you get to the exhale of your 3rd and final breath here, draw up, and then we come to that counter posture, extended side angle. So place your left elbow, palm facing upwards onto the left knee, and inhale, draw your right arm up. So first of all, think about drawing it up to the ceiling so that you get length in the arm, and then let the fingertips draw towards the horizon where your left toes are pointing. Keep lifting out of the right side of the body. And 3 breaths here. Keep that left palm facing up and really active, Charlotte. So fingertips really active. Lovely, gorgeous. At the base of your 3rd exhalation, you're going to drop your palms down and rotate your back toes so they're pointing towards the front of the mat, and step back into downward facing dog. Come back to your breath, come back to your dog. This is a familiar posture. It starts to feel a bit like a sense of home. It's symmetrical, you reset your spine into neutral. What do you like about it here? Let's focus on the positive. See if by focusing on the positive you move away from feelings of discomfort. Is it really that simple? Okie doke, we're going to hover the right leg up and step it through the palms again. And we're coming into warrior 2 on the opposite side. So this time your right leg is leading. It bends to 90 degrees. Your left instep is in line with your right heel. And then we're going to swoop the left arm. So nice, graceful circles. See if you could draw the biggest circle possible. One direction 3 times, and then the other direction 3 times. Where do you feel the movement? Lovely. Place the left palm to the outer edge of the left leg, the outer seam of the left leg. And then inhale, the right palm faces upwards and eventually back down towards your left leg as you open into reverse warrior. 3 of your luxurious breaths here, belly breaths if you can. Inhale, come up to center, and then find your counter posture in extended side angles. So just check in that your knee is tracking over your second toe, that it's not falling in. That protects your knee. And then we think again about reaching that left arm up to the ceiling first. Get the idea of length and activity and vitality through that side body in that arm. And then draw the armpit close to the ear. The fingertips point in the same direction as the toes. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more of your loveliest, deepest breaths. Where do you feel it? Come back to the sensation in your feet. Are you spreading the weight evenly through the 4 corners of the feet? Is the back leg activated? Can you draw a breath up through the soles of your feet? Lovely. Exhale and take the focus so that you now have your left palm on your hip. And we're going to try and just step that left leg forwards, whoop, and lift it at the top of the mat. Lovely. Fantastic, everyone. So you can come into that adaptation of tree again. So you're not pressing on the inside of your leg. This is coming a little bit closer to doing tree in lotus. So you're literally pressing the inside, so the outside edge of your left ankle into your right standing leg. That pressure that you have between the two, between the ankle and the thigh, or the ankle and the shin, is something that you can build on to maintain a really strong midline and sense of lift. Fabulous focus. Who I can see practicing, that's really, really good. Then we're going to sink back down into that chair pose with the ankle crossed over the heel. You might be feeling it quite intensely on the hips here. Obviously, the way that you can play with this posture is how deep you sit in your chair. So if you raise up out of your chair, you're taking the intense pressure off the outside of the hips there. The arms are there to help you to provide a sense of purpose of the upper body, an equilibrium, strength. Lovely. 5 of your breaths here. Active through to the fingertips. Gorgeous. When you're ready, at the base of your 5th exhalation, you can inhale, rise up, relax the legs, and just come into a ragdoll forward fold. So that means soft in the back, soft in the neck, springy in the arms, soft in the knees. Have a few breaths. Now I was reading about touch. If any of us are feeling like recent events have made us feel a bit depleted, it might well be because of the restriction in touch. So whenever you get an opportunity to come close to yourself, embrace that opportunity. We need to find new ways to build up our sense of being touched. Lovely. So we're going to come into a squat. Now, if this isn't comfortable for you, I'm going to ask you or recommend that you come all the way down to the floor. So you can sit on your sit bones like this. And then we're going to practice twists here. If you're interested in squats, then you just lift off the hips. So you see my feet are probably about mat width apart. And I'm just floating off the mat. And the palms come together in front of the chest. And it gives you a nice sense of lift in the sternum. This is excellent decompression for the base of your spine, your lumbar spine and your coccyx. If you've been sitting down a lot, I recommend you aim to do this once a day, okay? Lovely, so that's in your neutral spine. Now we're just going to allow the right arm to come down and provide a bit of support in front of the right leg as we inhale and we draw the left arm up. Take the gaze towards the fingertips. Then take your gaze down towards your right fingertips. How does that change how you feel? Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, come back to the center and look towards the center. Smile, relax your jaw, relax your tongue. And then spread your left arm down in front of you for a little extra support as you lift up and blossom open your right side. So gaze lifts up, look up. And then exhale, look down towards your left palm. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. One more time. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Come back to the center. Now an extra challenge for today is practicing crow pose. I'm placing my palms in front of me and I'm just going to lift up out of my hips a bit. So if you want to do that too, it's a bit like a soft wide leg forward fold. Just going to rock out of my feet a little bit, get rid of some of that tension. Draw my feet together a bit. So if you want to practice this, you are totally, totally welcome. If you would rather have a rest from doing this, then at whatever point you become overwhelmed, take a step back. So even if you just have a few moments in this nice wide-legged forward fold, you can experiment with relaxing your neck, maybe bending through the knees and drawing them up and letting the outside, the exterior body have a nice stretch. But for crow, I'm going to ask you to lift up onto your tiptoes. So you're in a forward fold and you've got your palms really nicely planted. So maybe your knees are quite bent. Lift up onto your toes, great. Your knees want to aim towards your armpits. Keep your gaze about 50 centimeters in front of you and let your shins make contact with the back sides of your arms, the upper arms. 5 breaths here. Yeah. Engage the abdomen, fly. Lovely, come back down with grace. Fantastic. We're all going to take the vinyasa together. Step back into plank, lower down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to come into pigeon now. Bring the right knee to the outside edge of the right wrist and extend your left leg behind you. Fingertips pointing forward, perhaps draw up onto the tips of your fingertips. Now I need to offer you an alternative for this pigeon pose. So if you want to, I'd advise you to come down and take supine pigeon. So still your right leg is crossed over, your left knee comes underneath your right ankle, your palms meet underneath your left thigh, so your right palm would come inside, and you'll take the breaths there. So it's 8 breaths. In. If you are in prone pigeon, you're going to inhale up, extend the chest and fill the lungs with air. Check that you've got the weight spread evenly between your left and your right side, so you're not leaning over to your right side too much. And then exhale, drape the belly down. Drape the chest down. And if you can, either find a place for your head to rest in your palms with your elbows bent up, or you can see if you can stack your forehead on top of your palms. A little safety note, just make sure that your right toes are pointing down towards your left knee, just to protect your right knee. So 8 breaths here, what a long time. Allow yourself 8 breaths. It doesn't sound too much to ask, but it can really feel like it is a lot to ask of yourself. This tends to release quite a lot of built up tension, and tension is emotion. So I'd like you to be sensitive and considerate to yourselves in this posture. Because you wouldn't leave a good friend who was coming up with some challenging emotions. So be kind to yourself and stay with yourself here. Be there for yourself. And then at the base of your 8th exhalation, start to walk your upper body up and take your weight over to your right hand side. So you can swing your left leg forward. Draw your right heel a little closer to you. If you were on your back for pigeon, come up and meet us here. So we're coming into Janushirasana. The right leg is now folded at the knee and the left leg is extended away from you. The left toes draw back towards you. Inhale towards your right knee and draw the arms up. So you have your spine extended. Exhale, turn towards your extended leg and reach forward. So it's a forward fold. Keep extending and lifting through the front body. Don't think about rounding down into the back. Keep lifting forwards, looking forwards, lift and look and reach. Inhale, lift the navel away from the thigh. Exhale, soften. So wherever your palms are coming to, the focus is the toes. Inhale, it's that drishti point. Exhale. Exaggerate this time. So inhale, really lift the front body away. And then exhale, see if you can just drape a little further. Lovely. Inhale, draw up, and then draw the left toes to meet the right. So you're coming into Baddha Konasana, just slightly butterfly through the legs to soften in the hips. Lovely. So we're going to spend 5 breaths in Baddha Konasana, and I'm going to show you 2 variations. So one of them is with axial extension, and you're drawing up. So you really feel it as if you're drawing the breath up through your base. So really through, from your root in the ground and up, you're lifting up through the crown. So it's 5 breaths like that. And you can hold, if you turn your toes outwards, like as if your feet are a book, you may find that your ankles relax a bit and you get a little bit of extra openness in the pelvis and the hips. You may find that it really doesn't matter what it looks like, it's what it feels like. So it would be 5 breaths there. If you want to, you can come with me into a forward fold. So first of all, everybody will extend through the axial extension, draw up and out of your pelvis. But if you're coming with me, you bend at the elbows and just draw your torso forwards. See if you can keep the straight spine. You can use the elbows to press down the insides of the legs. 5 breaths, everybody. Now, as you are counting your breaths, how does it make you feel? Is it a strange thing to do? do you think? Does it feel natural? What do you notice when you start to count your breath? Is your mind wandering? Do you ever lose count? At the base of the fifth exhalation, if you fold it forward with me, you're going to inhale and come back upright. And then we're going to perform the Janu Shirshasana on the opposite side. I really shouldn't say perform. I don't like the idea of yoga being performative. It's for you, okay? It's sensational. So we're now taking the left knee bent. So the left sole of the foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. I mean, inside of the right thigh. And the right toes are drawing back towards you. Turn your torso towards your bent knee. Inhale, draw up out of the body. Lift up, and then exhale, rotate the spine and lean forwards. That gets you a little bit of extra length in the body. Now let's exaggerate this sensation. Inhale and lift up, even lift your arms a little bit. So that's it, lovely. And then exhale, reach forwards. And imagine that your belly button is making progress along your thigh. Inhale, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, forward. One more time. Inhale, lift up, lengthen, draw the navel in away from the thigh, and then exhale, place it millimeter further down the thigh towards your toes. Great, keep the gaze towards the toes. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Inhale, draw up now, and draw the knees into the chest. What were we talking about? That sense of touch and embrace. Draw yourself close to yourself. How does that feel? Squeeze the tops of your arms. Just like, you know, somebody who's good at squeezing you does. Maybe nobody's good at squeezing you. Maybe you're the first person who's good at squeezing you. You might see that my toes are slightly lifted off the mat. They don't have to be. You could be feeling nice and grounded with your feet on the floor. Just lift the shoulders up to the ears and then relax them down. So lift them up and tense them and then relax them down. One more time. Lift the shoulders up to the ears, tense them. Feel the difference when you release that tension. How nice is that? So for the final posture, we're going to come into an inversion. I'm going to offer you the option of coming into shoulder stand only if you are familiar with it as a practice. I have to take my hair bubble out. I don't know if you do. Otherwise, you're simply going to lie back and lift the legs up so you're at 90 degrees with your body and your legs perpendicular to your body, your toes pointing upwards. And what you could do is you could inhale and practice drawing the toes towards you, and then exhale, come back upright. If you want to come into shoulder stand, let the knees bend and heels come to the hips. Palms down by the side, then push through the palms to float the hips up. Draw the elbows a little closer together behind the rib cage, and toes up into the sky. 10 breaths. So practicing inversions, research has shown, can help reduce blood pressure and reduce the sense of fight, flight, and freeze. Obviously, it's really good if you spend a lot of time on your feet. It can take a lot of weight out of the pelvis. The organs suddenly feel as if they're floating. If you're in shoulder stand, see if your insides of the legs, in fact, even if you're not, and your legs are simply up in the air and your hips are on the floor, come back to that idea that we had in Tadasana at the start. Just see if thinking about the inside seams of your legs makes a difference to your posture. How does that feel? Do you feel more centered? Do you feel straighter? Do you feel more upright? What about if you turn the focus now to the outside edges of the legs? Okay. If you're in shoulder stand, gently lower your hips in your palms until you're at a place where you can allow your palms to come down to the mat, face down, and then the arms act as brakes. So we'll all end up with our legs in the air. Let the arms come wide and the legs can bend. The knees come over to the left side and the gaze to the right. See if you can bend your knees higher than your hips. If you want to place a palm, you can fold your left palm on top of your right knee. Enjoy the twist and the wringing out through the spine. Oh, if only we could spend all day exploring and doing this. I don't think I'd get tired of it. I don't know about you. Let's draw up to the middle and reverse. So the knees go over to the right hand side and the gaze to the left. How are you feeling? I would like you to have a bit of a shavasana. If you are having to go back bang on 1 o'clock, then that's now. So that's the 45 minutes. Everyone draw the knees up to the center. So if you do have to go now, count down from 10 to get up slowly. If you're up for a little shavasana, I'm going to do it for the sake of the recording as well. So people who have to go now, maybe you can look at the recording later. Let's just draw our legs out so that they're about mat width apart and the toes fall out. The palms face up, fall away from the body. And you make contact with the ground with the back of the body. Now, even when we're in bed, because our mattresses can be quite soft and so on, we don't always feel this sense of connection with the back body. To increase the amount of spread of the back body, just draw the shoulders away from the ears and see if you can release a little bit more of your shoulder girdle onto the mat. And then do the same with the hips, where you lift the hips up and place them on the mat, just a centimetre or two further down, and you might feel that your pelvis releases a little bit more on the mat. We've been told so much about rules and what we can't do and negation, and it's so affirmative to feel what we can do. Now, Shavasana, however challenging it is to lie still, like a corpse, is something that is available to us. It's available to us all. It's not defiance. It's a very simple act of affirmation. This is me. Take a snapshot of yourselves here. From the outside, perhaps you can see what you're wearing, what you're lying on, your limbs and how they're arranged. Now, can you take a snapshot of a layer in from that? If your camera has a little live focus on it, would it be able to pick up any movement? If not, if it was a still, what colors, what images would you see to represent what you're feeling now? In your skin, on your skin. This is you. This is me. Take another snapshot a little bit further in, and now this might be sort of getting into the realms of imagination, but see if you can stick really with what you feel. Can you feel any of your organs? What can you perceive in this introspective state? So much of our experience relies upon what we feel and how we feel it. If we can become aware of how we feel inside, then we can become much, much, much stronger in processing our lives. And that sense of overwhelm is completely normal. But if we check in regularly, then we can prevent ourselves from coming into states of complete overwhelm, or complete collapse, or complete depletion, or complete anxiety. Take a few breaths into parts of yourselves that may feel a bit depleted. So again, think about the feet, the backs of the body, perhaps the stomach area, or the chest. Think about filling up, filling out. And then one last embrace. Draw the knees into the chest. Maybe even draw the forehead to the knees. Create a circle. Come over to one side and slowly draw up to seated. If you don't mind, we'll take 3 breaths to end together in a sense of unity. Inhale, draw up, lift up. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale, draw up, lift up. Beautiful. Exhale, release. 1 more breath to draw the session to a close. Inhale, draw up, lift up, draw in what you like, what you need, and exhale, release what you don't. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice. I hope to see you again next week. I'll share the recording on Slack. Please spread the word. Cheers.
That was great. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Such a pleasure.